You know that feeling, the learner, when you've got a mountain of things you want to do, things you know would be good for you, but somehow you just don't.
Yeah, that's a common one.
Well, you've sent us some fascinating material grappling with exactly that, overcoming laziness and really getting productive.
That's right. We've got a very direct ebook here, The Art of Laziness. And what stands out is it's no nonsense approach. It's filled with these punchy insights and a whole toolbox of practical ideas.
Exactly. So our mission for you today is to really dig into this material, pull out the truly game-changing stuff, and give you a clear path, to making the most of your time and actually crushing those goals without feeling like you're drowning in information.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's really unpack this because there's a lot here, and some of it is surprisingly powerful.
Let's start right at the core then with the mindset this source advocates.
Mm.
And the very first thing it hits hard is taking complete 100% responsibility.
This really jumped out at me. It's that blunt truth that pointing fingers just doesn't get you anywhere, right? The
Yeah.
book doesn't really pull any punches.
No, it's quite direct. It makes the point that while blaming external factors might offer like a temporary comfort, it's ultimately a dead end.
Hmm.
As the source states plainly, if you're lazy, it's your fault. If you're unhappy, it's your fault. If you're a procrastinator, it's your fault. It's meant to be a jolt, I think, a catalyst for change.
And it immediately follows up with that brilliant Chinese proverb. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. It's that kick in the pants we sometimes need, isn't it? Stop wishing things were different and just start acting now.
Absolutely. It speaks to the idea of learning from past inaction without letting it paralyze you.
Right.
And that connects perfectly with the George Bernard Shaw quote. Success does not consist in never making mistakes, but in never making the same one a second time. It's all about forward momentum, really, about
Yeah.
learning and adapting.
Yeah.
So the learner, the real insight here, I think, is to shift from asking, whose fault is it,
Mhm.
to asking, okay, what can I actually do about it?
That's a great way to frame it. Then the source pivots to focusing on what's actually within our control. It uses that quote from Epictetus.
Oh, yeah, the one about keeping your attention focused.
Exactly. Keep your attention focused entirely on what is truly your concern and be clear that what belongs to others is their business and none of yours. That's so key for anyone who feels, overwhelmed by external pressures.
It really reinforces the theme of self-reliance. And that story of the farmer and the sparrow illustrates this beautifully, doesn't it?
It does.
Notice how the farmer only truly took action when he realized he couldn't depend on others. It's a powerful little anecdote about, well, taking ownership.
And it introduces those three types of people.
Hmm.
Those who never even try, those who give up when things get tough,
Hmm.
and that tiny fraction, the persistent 1%. It's a stark reminder that often just sticking with something is the biggest differentiator.
Precisely. The underlying principle is about focusing your energy on what you can influence your own thoughts, your effort, and letting go of what you can't, like other people's opinions or, external circumstances.
Okay, so once you've embraced that radical responsibility, what's the next mindset hurdle we need to clear according to the source?
Well, the source then tackles a concept we all know but often struggle with.
Mm.
The idea that your comfort zone is actually your enemy when it comes to growth and productivity.
It's so true, though, that feeling of staying put because it's easy, even though we know it's not leading anywhere good.
Right.
And the book really connects that comfort to the guilt we feel when we're wasting time, that nagging feeling. It can actually be a powerful signal.
Exactly. And on the flip side, it highlights the genuine satisfaction that comes from pushing past that initial resistance and actually accomplishing something you've been putting off. That feeling of momentum can be quite addictive in a good way.
I liked the point about keeping things simple when you're starting something new. I think we often get bogged down in planning and preparation, making it feel like this huge undertaking before we even begin.
Totally. And the need for a bias towards action is really driven home with that Jeff Bezos quote. You know the one.
About the 70%.
Yeah. Most decisions should probably be made with somewhere around 70% of the information you wish you had. If you wait for 90%, in most cases, you're probably being slow. It's about not letting perfection be the enemy of progress.
Right.
Think of it this way, the learner. Sometimes good enough now is just better than perfect never.
And there's a little nudge to think differently, too, with that George S. Patton quote. If everyone is thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking. It's a good reminder that seeking out new perspectives and not just going with the flow is valuable.
Moving on, the source addresses goal setting and planning, but with a strong emphasis on making them clear, achievable, and crucially simple.
Yes, that contrast between a hazy aspiration like be healthy and a concrete target like lose 2 kilograms in 1 month is so important. You can't hit a target you can't see, right? It's about giving yourself a clear direction.
And the simple act of physically writing down your goals is highlighted for its motivational effect. It transforms a vague idea into something more tangible, creates a sense of commitment.
I really appreciated the encouragement to stick with basic tools like pen and paper over getting lost in the weeds of complicated productivity apps. Sometimes simplicity is the ultimate form of efficiency. It keeps the focus on the actual doing.
Definitely. The source also makes an interesting connection between procrastination and a persistent low-level subconscious discomfort. That feeling of unease that lingers when you know you should be engaged in something else. It's like your mind is constantly reminding you.
And the discussion of long-term versus short-term thinking is so relevant. That immediate gratification of avoiding work versus the longer-term regret of not pursuing what truly matters to you. It's about weighing those two against each other.
The importance of taking calculated risks is also brought up, supported by Mark Zuckerberg's quote. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. It's about stepping outside that comfortable predictability, the learner.
And then there's that thought-provoking concept of no good, no bad, illustrated by the story of the farmer and the horse. It's a great reminder that our initial interpretations of events can often shift dramatically over time, so avoiding those rigid judgments can be really helpful.
Next up, the focus shifts to self-discipline, which the source defines as, well, the ability to do what you know is beneficial for your future self, even when it's difficult or unappealing in the present moment.
That Jim Rohn quote really encapsulates that struggle, doesn't it? We must all suffer from one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. It's a powerful trade-off to consider.
The core message here is simply, do what needs to be done. And the Seth Godin quote reinforces this. There's no shortage of remarkable ideas. What's missing is the will to execute them. It's all about bridging that gap between thinking and doing.
Procrastination is clearly identified as the main obstacle to self-discipline, that ingrained habit of making excuses and finding ways to avoid the tasks that matter.
And the significance of delaying immediate gratification is emphasized, making those small sacrifices now for the larger rewards down the line. It's about playing the long game.
The book circles back to that direct do-it-now instruction, powerfully reinforced by Pablo Picasso's quote, "Only put off until tomorrow what you are willing to die having left undone." That really injects a sense of urgency and perspective.
Wow. It also directly addresses and debunks the allure of quick hacks that promise results without requiring actual effort. Sustainable achievement, well, it invariably requires putting in the foundational work.
Right, no shortcuts.
And the story of the king and the mantra, "This too shall pass," offers a valuable lesson in resilience, reminding us that both successes and setbacks are temporary and shouldn't completely derail our long-term efforts. It's about maintaining an even keel.
Okay, so working on the right things. That seems critical.
Now, a truly critical element of being productive is ensuring you're actually working on the right things. Yes, and the source dedicates significant attention to this.
Absolutely. That Andrew Vizzi quote comparing the potential struggles of even artistic geniuses like Michelangelo and Da Vinci with, say, mundane spreadsheet tasks, it really highlights the importance of passion and meaning in our work.
Yeah, it does. If you're not invested in what you're doing, motivation will always be an uphill battle.
Totally.
It draws a clear connection between the work we do and our overall happiness, suggesting that if you consistently dread your work, well, it's worth exploring alternative paths.
But it also offers a realistic perspective by acknowledging that even work we love will have its challenging moments. It references Vincent van Gogh's intense dedication alongside his personal struggles. It's not about constant joy, is it?
No, it's about finding something you care about enough to persevere through the difficulties. And prioritizing your tasks effectively becomes crucial here, focusing your limited time and energy on the activities that will yield the most significant results.
Prevents burnout, too, I imagine. Stops you feeling like you're just spinning your wheels.
Exactly. And I particularly like the concept of attract, not chase.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more.
It's the idea that by focusing on your own growth and improvement, you naturally draw opportunities and desired outcomes towards you. It's a shift in focus, from external pursuit to internal development.
That makes a lot of sense. Less frantic energy.
And a simple yet powerful affirmation the source includes, you are great. encouraging that fundamental self-belief that can often be the first casualty of procrastination and laziness.
The discussion then moves into the often misunderstood territory of perfectionism, offering a more balanced viewpoint, which I found interesting.
Yes, it acknowledges that in certain domains, like art and design, a meticulous eye for detail, think Leonardo da Vinci or Steve Jobs, can drive truly exceptional outcomes.
But it cautions against letting that pursuit of absolute perfection become the default mode, right? Where it morphs into a form of procrastination.
Precisely. Preventing you from even starting a project because you're too worried about not getting it exactly right from the outset.
Shane Parrish's distinction between reversible and irreversible decisions is insightful here.
It really is. For many of the tasks we face, immediate perfection isn't critical. We can iterate and improve.
So the core takeaway becomes that for a vast majority of tasks, done is better than perfect. Getting something completed allows for feedback and progress, whereas striving for an unattainable ideal can lead to stagnation.
However, the source also wisely warns against sliding into mediocrity. As Todd Henry points out, mediocrity isn't usually a grand decision, but rather the accumulation of small choices to take the easy way out.
And Steve Jobs' quote beautifully captures the inherent dissatisfaction of doing work you don't believe in. Do you remember it?
The one about work filling a large part of your life.
Yeah. Your work will fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. It really underscores the importance of finding that connection.
It really does. The subtle but powerful influence of our environment on our ambition is also noted, encouraging us to think big and surround ourselves with influences that inspire growth.
Okay, next up, the myth of multitasking. The source seems pretty firm on this one.
Yeah, it's quite firm in its stance on its inefficiency. The example of the Mars climate orbiter.
Oh, right, the costly error.
Exactly. A significant financial loss attributed to a simple unit conversion error, likely occurring within a complex multitasking environment. It serves as a stark illustration of the hidden costs of divided attention.
So what are the tips then?
It offers 3 straightforward yet highly effective productivity tips. Consciously avoid switching between tasks, actively remove distractions from your environment, and turn off those relentless, non-essential notifications. Simple steps, but they can make a huge difference.
Definitely need to work on the notifications one.
Haha, yeah, most of us do. The importance of dedicated, uninterrupted periods of focus for tackling significant tasks is emphasized, along with the often overlooked benefit of short naps in revitalizing mental energy and concentration.
Naps. Okay, I like that. And what about eliminating tasks?
And a crucial element, learning to identify and ruthlessly eliminate tasks that are simply not essential. It's not just about maximizing your output, but about focusing that output on what truly moves the needle.
Okay, daily routine. That feels foundational.
Establishing a consistent daily routine is then presented as a cornerstone of sustained productivity and focus.
That John C. Maxwell quote really sets the stage. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. It highlights the power of those small, consistent actions.
The source points to Leo Tolstoy's meticulously structured daily routine, with dedicated time for writing, physical activity. Rest is a compelling example of how routine can provide a framework for achievement.
The book encourages you, the learner, to experiment and find your own optimal wake-up time, emphasizing the benefits for your future self rather than just indulging immediate desires for more sleep.
Yeah, it's about making choices that your future self will thank you for.
And the value of dedicated time for solitary reflection is highlighted with that Blaise Pascal quote.
All of humanity's problems stem from our inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Profound stuff. It's about creating space for clear thinking and introspection.
The analogy of distractions as a Trojan horse is quite effective too, isn't it?
Yeah, illustrating how seemingly minor interruptions can have significant hidden costs to our concentration and overall productivity.
And the practical advice: delete those distracting apps. Sometimes tough, but probably necessary.
Often very necessary.
Okay, learning to say no. This is a big one for many people.
Learning to effectively say no is another vital skill discussed, yeah. And the Josh Billings quote perfectly captures the pitfalls of overcommitment.
Yeah.
Half of the troubles of this life can be traced to saying yes too quickly and not saying no soon enough.
Ouch. Too true sometimes.
It's about understanding and prioritizing your own goals and recognizing that your time and energy are finite, valuable resources that need protecting.
Seneca's quote beautifully connects this to having a clear sense of purpose. If you don't know what port you sail to, no wind is favorable. Without defined goals, it's easy to get sidetracked by other people's agendas.
Exactly. The source then delves into the somewhat counterintuitive concept of not needing to work around the clock to be productive.
Yes, that Sahil Bloom quote offers a crucial long-term perspective. 20 years from now, the only people who will remember you worked late are your kids. Wow, that's a powerful reminder of what truly matters in the grand scheme.
It is. The emphasis shifts from the sheer number of hours worked to the actual results achieved. The point is made that sometimes overworking can be a subtle form of procrastination on the tasks that are truly important.
That's an interesting take, overworking as procrastination.
Yeah. It brings us back to the fundamental truth about the limited nature of life and the importance of actually enjoying it, not just relentlessly working through it.
So, less is more.
Exactly. The principle of less is more is introduced, advocating for a laser focus on high-impact activities. It uses Stephen Covey's analogy of ensuring your ladder is leaning against the right wall.
Making sure you're climbing towards the right goal.
Precisely. It's about being effective, not just busy, and directing your efforts towards your own meaningful objectives.
The recurring message to don't wait is reinforced next.
Yes, and David Starr Jordan's quote aptly connects wisdom, skill, and virtue with the crucial element of taking action. The inherent danger of perpetually waiting for the perfect time is highlighted.
Because it rarely arrives.
Right. Exactly. Such a moment rarely materializes on its own. And the important distinction between genuine patience and simply being lazy is made clear. It's about being proactive in your efforts, but understanding that significant results often take time.
Like the bamboo tree story.
Exactly. The bamboo tree, requiring years of unseen root growth before its dramatic upward surge. And the Zen student and teacher dialogue, illustrating impatience with action versus patience with outcomes.
Ah, yes. Be impatient with action, patient with results.
Right. They both beautifully capture this balance between consistent effort and the often delayed nature of significant achievements.
So the core message remains. No perfect time exists. The optimal moment to begin is always right now.
And unwavering consistency is absolutely essential for long-term success. The source offers encouragement by reminding us that initiating a task is often the most challenging part, echoing Miyamoto Musashi's wisdom. It may seem difficult at first, but everything is difficult at first.
And a vital aspect of building self-trust is highlighted. The importance of consistently following through on the commitments you make to yourself, doing what you say you'll do.
Very true. Then the profound influence of our social circle is examined in detail.
That well-known Jim Rohn quote serves as a powerful reminder. You are the average of the 5 persons you spend the most time with. It underscores how deeply our close relationships shape our habits and our overall mindset.
The necessity of being consciously aware of these influences and actively choosing the people with whom we surround ourselves is emphasized. Intentionally shifting your social circle can be a powerful catalyst for transforming your own thinking and behavior.
And the practical, almost blunt advice against seeking guidance from individuals whose lives you wouldn't actually want for yourself.
Right, reinforced by Alex Hormozzi's perspective. It's definitely something to consider.
Okay, what about worry?
The section on not worrying connects worry directly to a lack of action. Quoting Mark Twain's humorous observation about the multitude of troubles he anticipated, most of which never actually occurred.
Yeah. So action is the cure.
Taking action is presented as the most effective antidote to worry. The source encourages a practical approach. Categorize your worries into those you can influence and those you cannot.
Control versus no control.
Exactly. Then focus your energy solely on addressing the controllable ones and letting go of the rest.
The straightforward yet incredibly impactful tip of do the hard thing first is then shared.
Ah, yes. Eat the frog.
Basically.
Yeah.
The simple analogy of the cold water not getting any warmer the longer you delay the jump perfectly illustrates our natural tendency to avoid discomfort and the importance of overcoming that initial resistance.
And the powerful dichotomy of hard choices, easy life, versus easy choices, hard life, provides a compelling framework for evaluating our decisions and considering their long-term consequences.
That really makes you think.
It does. The importance of consistently doing what is necessary, even when it's difficult, rather than always opting for the easy path, is stressed. The source also encourages pushing past those self-imposed limitations, those imaginary walls we often create.
Instead of just aiming for balance.
Right, rather than constantly striving for a perfectly balanced life, especially when pursuing significant goals. And the motivating power of vividly picturing your future self and the person you aspire to be is highlighted, quoting F.M. Alexander as a reminder of the long-term impact of our present actions.
Finally, in this mindset section, delegation, often overlooked.
Finally, yes, the often overlooked skill of delegation is introduced. The John C. Maxwell quote underscores its critical role in achieving significant outcomes. If you want to do a few small things right, do them yourself. Learn to delegate if you want to do great things and make a big impact.
The practical advice is to identify those low-value, time-consuming tasks that can be effectively outsourced or delegated, even if the initial results aren't flawless.
Yeah, it's about freeing up your time and energy for higher impact activities. And the concluding point in the mindset section offers guidance on accelerating learning, emphasizing the importance of focusing on acquiring useful knowledge, cultivating a sense of urgency in your learning process, and prioritizing deep comprehension over superficial speed, especially with reading.
Okay, comprehension over speed. Got it.
Mhm.
All right, so we've laid a really solid foundation with those crucial mindset shifts. Now let's dive into part two. Tips and techniques, the more concrete, actionable strategies you can start using right away.
Exactly. The transition is marked by a powerful quote from Benjamin E. Mays about the tragedy of a life without purpose, which nicely sets the stage for practical tools aimed at achieving your goals.
The source then presents a condensed list of 20 productivity tips I wish I had known earlier. It's a sort of rapid-fire collection that echoes many of the mindset principles we've already discussed, but now framed as direct actions.
Right? These include things like planning your day ahead, writing down goals, the 80-20 rule, that vital few idea,
Yeah, focusing effort where it counts.
stopping multitasking, maintaining focus, removing distractions, using short naps, saying no, delegating,
A lot we've touched on.
acting immediately, doing anything under 5 minutes right away, tackling the hard task first, setting deadlines, focusing on goal-related activities, avoiding perfectionism,
Scheduling email time, avoiding pointless meetings.
avoiding negative people, and, crucially, trying to do work you love. It's a good summary list.
That's a really valuable, concise checklist of actionable principles. Then we delve a bit deeper into some specific techniques, starting with a more detailed explanation of the 80-20 rule.
Right, the Pareto principle, explained as the observation that roughly 80% of your outcomes typically stem from just 20% of your efforts. So identify and focus on those high-impact activities.
Next up is Parkinson's law. Work expands to fill the time.
Exactly. Work will expand to fill the time allocated for its completion. The practical application is to intentionally set shorter deadlines for your tasks, create that urgency, and encourage more efficient work.
Then we have a fascinating section introducing 8 Japanese techniques to overcome laziness. This offers a really interesting cultural lens on productivity and well-being, I thought.
It really does, starting with Ikigai.
Finding your purpose, right? Aligning love, skill, need, and reward.
That's the one, finding that sweet spot. Then there's Kaizen, the philosophy of continuous small improvements, just getting 1% better every day.
Leads to big results over time. Shoshin is next. Beginner's mind.
Yeah, approaching everything with the beginner's mind, open to possibilities, free from preconceived notions. The Shunryu Suzuki quote captures it well.
Harahachibu, eating till 80% full. How does that help laziness?
Surprisingly, it can contribute to increased energy levels and reduced lethargy, less post-meal slump.
Interesting. Shinrin-yoku is forest bathing.
Right, spending time in nature. Reduces stress, enhances focus. Yeah. Very beneficial.
Wabi-sabi. Finding beauty in imperfection.
Yes, accepting the imperfection and impermanence of things can be quite liberating for creators.
Gambaru is about persevering.
Exactly. Persevering through difficulties, always doing your best.
And gammon?
Gammon represents the strength of enduring hardship, showing patience, especially when things are tough.
Okay, lots of great ideas there. What about the end-of-day routine?
The source then outlines a simple yet effective do this for 10 minutes before you sleep routine, a fantastic way to intentionally conclude your day and prepare for the next.
This involves taking a few minutes to reflect on accomplishments and shortcomings, building self-awareness.
And then briefly planning your key tasks for the following day to ensure a focused start.
And this ties into the 3 arrows concept.
Right, identifying the 3 most crucial, high-impact tasks you want to accomplish the next day gives you clear priority.
We also get a list of 10 tiny habits that will change your life, focusing on small, incremental changes.
Yeah, things like moving more, eating better, connecting with purpose, hydrating, positive relationships, taking calculated risks, avoiding overcommitment and multitasking, minimizing distractions, and nurturing urgency. Small steps, Big impact.
The Pomodoro technique is next. Work intervals and breaks.
Exactly. Utilizing focused work intervals followed by short breaks with the crucial reminder to experiment and find what timings work best for you, the learner.
The 5-minute rule offers a powerful strategy against procrastination.
If a task takes 5 minutes or less, do it immediately. Don't put it off. Benjamin Franklin's quote about small leaks sinking great ships fits here. It all adds up.
Then the 2-day rule for consistency.
Yeah, a simple guideline. Avoid skipping any important activity for more than 2 consecutive days. Helps maintain momentum and positive patterns.
And the final technique is a potent call to action. Wake up.
It really is. Powerfully reinforced with that Marcus Aurelius quote about the privilege of being alive.
And that anecdote about the father, son, and the donkey.
Yes. Illustrating the futility of trying to please everyone else and the importance of trusting your own judgment and living authentically with urgency.
Wow, that's a really comprehensive exploration of the source material. So as we bring this deep dive to a close for you, the learner, it's abundantly clear that overcoming laziness and significantly boosting your productivity isn't just about implementing a few clever hacks or tricks.
Exactly. It's fundamentally rooted in cultivating a strong sense of self-awareness, making deliberate shifts in your mindset, and then consistently taking action that aligns with what truly holds meaning and importance for you.
We've really delved into these ideas with you, the learner, in mind someone who is eager to grasp important concepts and effectively apply them to your life without feeling, bogged down by too much information.
Yeah, hope it was useful.
So considering everything we've unpacked today, from taking radical responsibility to embracing discomfort, from setting clear intentions to the power of consistent small actions, what's one lazy habit that you feel inspired to tackle right now?
Good question to ponder.
And what's one hard thing that you're going to make a priority for tomorrow? Remember the consistent message from these sources. The absolute best time to begin is always now.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing these insightful sources with us and for joining us on this deep dive. We sincerely hope it has provided you with some truly valuable insights and practical, actionable steps you can implement immediately.
Yeah, and we'd be genuinely interested to hear what resonated most with you, so please feel free to share your own thoughts and experiences.
Definitely.
Until our next deep dive, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep taking those meaningful actions.